Right, good afternoon everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for stopping by. Hope you're all doing well wherever you happen to be in the world right now. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel, dropping a like on the video to get me out to a wider audience, and any comments or questions that you may have, please feel free to leave them down below, and I always get back to every single person. I'm going to be talking about VeChain today. I've not touched on it for, I don't know, a few weeks now. That's not to say I've not been accumulating during that period, but I've been covering other projects and whatnot, but I'm going to start focusing on the things that are my core investments, with VeChain being one of them. It's just an article I've come across where it alludes to the fact that VeChain's been, let me just click on it, emerged as a top 50 food traceability service provider worldwide, spearheading the blockchain revolution. So it's fairly bullish news for the project. Isn't reflected in the price at the moment, but I'm more of a long-term thinker. So we'll go through the cryptocurrency market as a whole just to see how things are looking and see how VeChain shapes up against that. We've currently got a market cap of $1.13 trillion, which is down 1.29% against over the last 24 hours. Trading volume is still very low, $29 billion over the last 24 hours. Bitcoin dominance is at 46.6%. Currently trading just over $27,000, which I believe is up slightly from yesterday, but I can't remember. As for the rest of the top 10, the only thing that's really catching my eye is Solana creeping its way slowly up the top 10. It's already flipped Polygon, and there was something else it's gone above. BUSD slipped out the top 10 by a long way. But yeah, it's slowly creeping back up there, and that's another one of my holdings that I'm looking to do well out of over the next few years. So as for the biggest rises of the last 24 hours, this Conflux continues to do well. LDO appears to be up nearly 6%, but it's a fairly flat day in crypto, so there's not much going on. I'm going to do a meme coin video next, because that's what I'm sort of scratching around searching for, something investable in that sort of area, because meme coins are hot at the moment. As for VeChain, you can see it's up 0.79%, trading at 0.0196 against the US dollar, and up 1.87% against Bitcoin. It currently sits on over 1 million watch list, so it is a well-known cryptocurrency. It's doing, it's quite well. It's a large community behind it. Market cap of $1.425 billion. 24-hour trading volume of $26 million, and the circulating supply remains the same since my last video, 72.4 billion VeChain, which is 84% of the total supply. I'm not sure. I'll be interested to see what sentiment's like, because I've not looked at it for a while. Actually, this all just appears to be a load of shilling. But what I'll do is I'll go to the chart first, just to give you my thoughts on things. You can see, like, for the last few days, we've been hovering around this 0.019 region. We've tested it 1, 2. This is the third test, and are we showing divergence? Marginally negative still. Momentum is still negative, but I can understand why people would get frustrated when they're seeing things like Pepe pump however many percent it did over the last few days. But what you've got to remember, they're just like flashes in the pan. Like, they don't happen all the time. This is a solid project. I mean, this chart doesn't look especially bearish. It's in sort of a consolidation zone. We're sitting both below both the 50 and the 100 period MA. The 100's gone above the 50. Both sloping down slightly, so it doesn't look brilliant. But for me, like, if you're thinking the long term, this isn't a major concern to me, but the price is around here, because you've got all this utility coming through. And say, for example, you were to get in now, and VeChain was to pump to its highs back from February, then you've made 65%. Now, 65% isn't to be sniffed at. You're not going to get that in a bank. But personally, let's go to the weekly, just so we can go back to like all-time highs and see what I'm talking about. So I know it can be boring when you're sort of sitting in this sort of area. Everyone wants to get rich overnight. It's not going to happen like that. You've got to think like an investor, think like one of the big boys. So even if we get to all-time highs, that's nearly 1,300% from where we are. So if you're accumulating now, this is not financial advice, but if people are accumulating now a substantial amount of VeChain, I'm talking about 100,000 plus, then you're going to be making a fairly nice sum of money, even if we just return to all-time highs, which were at 27 cents. Bearing in mind that it's been, that's, you would expect in the next bull run for us to do at least double that. I think 50 cents is a conservative estimate. So if I go to 50, just condense this and just put it up to 50 cents, then you're looking at 2,500%. And 50 cents, I don't believe, is a big ask for this project. So I can understand people's frustrations. It's boring when you're sitting in these sort of, consolidation zones, like where people it's just not moving. And I know it can be frustrating, but say you would have gotten, I know I'm repeating myself, say you'd have gotten this price on New Year's Eve, and they held and got out right at that high there. You've doubled your money in like a month and a half. So this thing has got legs, and it will do well. You've just got to be patient in crypto. The bull run, in my opinion, won't happen until 2024. Bitcoin halving happens. I think it's around March 2024. I can't remember the exact date. And then traditionally 6 months after that, everything else starts to explode. So I'm just positioning myself for that. I'm not really bothered about the next 6 months. That's just where I'm going to be continuing to accumulate. I've already hit 1 million VeChain. I'm just going to keep on accumulating. At these prices, I'm prepared to take the risk. And, once this does pop off, my gains are going to be even bigger. That's just my thoughts on it. I'm not telling you that's what's going to happen, but it's a calculated risk, and I'm prepared to risk that capital on that. Anyway, this is on Crypto Coin Newsflash, and I will link it down below. I've only read the headline, so I'll go through the article quickly and see what we can make of it, what pluses and I think it will only be positives we can take from it. So VeChain emerges as a top 50 food traceability service provider worldwide, spearheading the blockchain revolution. The VeChain blockchain has emerged on the list of the top 50 food traceability service providers as it globally transforms food sustainability. A new report from a top research firm describes VeChain as a key player in the growing blockchain service BaaS market. VeChain has made it to the forefront of one of the leading food traceability service providers in the world. VeChain is now in the top 50 for its contribution to the pioneering transparency in the industry. The new development highlights yet another milestone attained by the blockchain platform, which has been making rounds in the industry for its multiple use cases across the world. The update was first shared on Twitter by a key VeChain supporter, Eisenreich, who is behind a Twitter account dedicated to sharing achievements related to VeChain technology. Updated his 27,000 Twitter followers on the newly attained milestone. Now there's Eisenreich there. If you are a VeChain holder, it's well worth following him because he updates multiple times a day. He digs for information. He knows more about VeChain than Sunny Lou probably does. It's ludicrous what he knows. He can see the long-term vision, like I can myself. Using the VeChain toolchain, the project serves as an industrial blockchain application sector with the provision of safe and efficient blockchain tools and services for enterprises. Its rich experience in sustainable development, food safety, traceability, and blue chip anti-counterfeiting verification and clean technology has helped it develop cooperative relationships with leading companies in different parts of the world. Shanghai Gas, Bayer China, Det Norsk, Veritas, and Yongpu Coffee are some of the many other firms that the blockchain network has partnered with on a global scale. The blockchain platform has also been recognized by leading Chinese authorities. Nanjing Zero is one of the very first batches of blockchain technology compliance providers that have gained the approval of the National Internet Information Office, NIIO. The NIIO is a member of the Trusted Blockchain Promotion Plan of the Climate Change Alliance. It is currently under the United Nations System Member Unit, which is a member of the unit of the Consumer Goods Forum. The unit has a handful of honours and recognitions from various industry associations and mainstream media. Excuse me if I just have a sip of my drink. Excuse me. VeChain thrives in the blockchain as a service sector. VeChain is also making waves in the blockchain as a service sector, according to recent research. The VeChain blockchain is a major figure in the growing BaaS market. According to introspective market research, a global market research company specializing in using big data and advanced analytics, VeChain is one of the key players in the rapidly growing BaaS market. VeChain acknowledged the report in a series of tweets as it affirmed the company's growth so far. VeChain's BaaS blockchain solutions are in a different league. We've worked closely with leading businesses and enterprises to build a network that closely aligns with real-world expectations, from built-in compliance to our unique features. Blockchain as a service involves the process of creating, managing, and maintaining cloud-based networks for specific firms. Companies that center on BaaS typically design, develop, and build blockchain applications. With the rise of the adoption of the BaaS model, the marketing is entering a crucial phase that marks the evolution of blockchain technology. As such, Otis's use case of blockchain and cryptocurrencies are expanded to different areas. VeChain reckons that the network's work over the previous years to date has played a massive role in helping set the standard of the digital economy across multiple jurisdictions. As a result of this, VeChain's position in the market has been cemented as the leading public protocol for sustainability and digital transformation at a global scale. In the long term, VeChain is well positioned to make an even bigger impact on the sustainability sector. Our work to date has helped set the standards of the digital economy across. That's just a repetition of what I've just read. That's what they've been tweeting out. So everything that I've read there's not one negative thing that I can take out of that. It's just they're moving forward. They're making all these partnerships, and their food tracking across the blockchain is going to be a massive thing to prevent food poisoning and whatnot. Track things from around the world, counterfeit goods, even counterfeit tobacco and whatnot, all sorts of things. I failed to see how anyone could look at this project and say that's crap. It's a solid project. I will link that down below because I did butcher that article a little bit. I've just got back from the gym and I've got a very dry mouth. That's my excuse anyway. So I was looking on Twitter, and VeChain currently have nearly 600,000 followers. So there are a number of people that are well aware of this project and are probably quietly accumulating behind the scenes. I know it doesn't reflect in the price, which can be frustrating, but when you're investing, you've got to think long term. And I'm not talking about things like DeFi, which I hear. I've made a lot of videos about one specific project where you're talking about the long term vision, but you compare the chart of VeChain to that project, it's a completely different thing. It's not falling 3% a day. It's just in a sort of holding pattern. It's sitting there. For me, it's an accumulation area. Just on a side note, this is Eisenreich, and he's well worth following. He's got like nearly 28,000 followers, including Sonny Lou himself follows him, and he just doesn't stop. He's just tweeting all day about VeChain. And when I was scrolling through VeChain's page not long ago, you can see like they're involved in the UFC. And they're giving away tickets. But look, there's VeChain on the promotional poster. They're big. They're going places. They're involved in everything. And there was also something. They gave out the first ever digital or digital as they call it tennis trophy, because they sponsor the ATP Tour as well. There isn't much that VeChain isn't involved in. So if you're interested, just genuinely give them a follow on Twitter, and you can educate and learn more about. Educate yourself rather, and learn more about the project and see all the positive things that are going on, because I think this is a sleeping giant. Not financial advice, but I'm just going to keep pouring my spare capital into this. So I'm going to leave it for there, because I've been going for 12 minutes and 58 seconds, which is far too long. So like I said earlier, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. I'm nearly at 500 subscribers, and I'd like to hit that sooner rather than later. Drop a like on the video. Apparently that helps me get to a wider audience, and comments are good for the algorithm. So yeah, if you could help me out to grow the channel, I'd really appreciate that. So I wish you all a wonderful afternoon. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.